going to be an exciting one. The Koshka band away first, followed by the Vox, and you'll see the rest of the draft play out. But Adagio first pick. Kind of interesting to see that priority put onto Adagio.
Well, yeah, the Adagio being picked up here, as well as obviously the Finn and Lance coming out from CLOUD9. That's a really heavy CC composition, obviously. CC's king, right? That's what you got to win games with. And coming into it, like I said, I wanted to see someone play Lance. They are going to pick that one up, but coming up against someone like a Ringo, and they have actually played this. The Hammers, I believe, have actually played this exact competition before. In the best of 16, they played the Glaive, they played obviously Ringo and Arden there as well. And I want to see them. This is clearly a competition they practice, right? So I want to see them actually show their experience using this set 3 hero pool and really push their way to victory there. But I'm really interested in seeing starting all over, like I mentioned before, really aggressive player, a young guy. And I want to see him go ham on this Ringo in lane, because you can really just bullet out an Adagio, but if he doesn't get the support, I mean, Finn, Lance, they're going to be on top of you.
Yeah, well, it's old school on the Adagio, and everyone that has watched old school play Adagio in the past knows that this is a massive threat. Yesterday, we saw him go up, was it 30-40 CS over Iraqi Zoro, who was playing a Ringo into that matchup, but starting all over, obviously, an extremely talented laner as well. And we'll see how that particular matchup is going to go. So keep your eyes on those CS numbers between those two laners. But right now, Chicken 123 and Gabe Vizzle having a little bit of a captain's duel there in the jungle. But looks like Hammers, they're going to get the jump on this jungle, starting up this Ancient Treant.
Yeah, they are going to go towards it. They're going to pull it to their side as well, which is going to be really handy. The gold did not go over to Gabe Vizzle. Good try, though. Did actually, I believe it went over to Chicken. I'm not entirely sure. I think it did actually go over to Chicken. So that's going to be a really nice start for him, actually. A little bit of XP, and already you can see Tigers. He's making his way towards this mid to the lane as well. And I want to see. You mentioned obviously old school, which is very prolific on this Adagio pick, and I want to see him come up against Ringo, because you can already see he's going to get jumped on. Does get stunned up, in fact, and Tigers is going to make his way up there as well. And just bullying him out of the lane, I think that's the key to victory, at least for Hammers in the early stage of the game.
Oh, absolutely. You have to take advantage of the strength of this Glaive, being able to make those kinds of aggressive plays up in the lane. But with a Finn there, and just the fact that it is Adagio, it's going to be really tough to actually bully Old School out of this lane. He's obviously going to be getting the fortified health from the Finn, and then being able to heal himself with the Gift of Fire makes it extremely difficult to force an Adagio out of lane when he doesn't want to be. And then, of course, you have to worry about Isle of Joseph coming through on this Lance. It's another very aggressive early-game jungler, but Isle of Joseph has been playing rather passive here in the first couple minutes.
Yeah, he has. He's kind of just stuck around his own jungle camps here, hasn't he? He's just kind of, I'm going to farm up a little bit to make sure I can get ahead of Tigers in the jungle, and then see what I can, what I can do. A bit more presence in the lane, and here he comes up just now. Does get a nice stun into the wall. Starting all over, just in a little bit of trouble. I'm not sure he's got any potions left, so he's going to have to be a little bit more careful now. And you can see just the sustain war already from CLOUD9 just coming up big for them. Although Finn is going to go in, Tigers is going to go really low as well. Beautiful first blood coming through actually from the Ringo. Tigers is going to get traded up as well. Adagio is going to pick up that kill. Old School already making a name for himself in that lane, but the first blood gold will go over to the Ringo there.
Yeah, really heads-up play from T-Tigers. As soon as Isle of Joseph missed that Impale, which is that high risk of the Lance. If you don't connect with the Impale, you get stuck there for a second or two. That's exactly what happened. Went a little bit too far forward with the Impale, didn't connect, left him vulnerable. T-Tigers jumps in, afterburns him underneath the turret. Great job taking advantage for that first blood.
Well, yeah, speaking about jumping in, Chicken is in a little bit of trouble here as well. Old School's going to have to chase him out, and I really like what CLOUD9 did there as well. They, they picked up a kill, they traded in the lane, and went, you know what, straight to your tree end. So I'm going to take one of those as well, just taking it away from Tigers. And you can see now both of them near the Elder Tree end as well. Both CLOUD9 and Hammers, they both have one kill apiece at this moment. And Tasty, at this current time, where do you see Old School kind of, what kind of build path do you see him going?
Almost certainly going to be a crystal path for the Adagio. It just makes the most sense. But right now, he's going to get Afterburn.
He is going to get Afterburn. Go straight in. The health bar just ticking so low. And there goes starting all over yet again with another kill. Just take a little bit of tower aggro, however. and they are just going to chase I Love Joseph, making sure he knows his place now. Gabe Vizzle, unfortunately, not going to be able to do all too much. Starting all over, using that aggression in the early game with that Ringo, really coming up trumps here for Hammers.
And T-Tigers again setting up another kill for the side of Hammer's Velocity. This is something that we've seen him do numerous times. Just go in aggressively, setting up kills for starting all over so that starting can carry with this Ringo. It's been a very popular duo thus far throughout Vis Pro is the Ringo and Glaive for Hammer's Velocity. You can see T-Tigers already getting himself set up for that Storm Crown build. It's pretty much, I think, every Glaive that we have seen thus far has gone for this Storm Crown Aftershock, the massive amount of engage burst and getting a ton of cooldown as well onto the Glaive, so you can use that Afterburn as frequently as possible. But with Old School finishing off that first item, it means he is going to become a much larger threat going forward. I Love Joseph and the rest of Cloud9 rotating on down, perhaps looking for a fight, but they're not going to find anything here.
No, they're just going to get spotted out by the flare there, so they're going to have to back off. They do use the flare as well, just to make sure they know exactly where Hammer's Velocity are, although Chicken, maybe wandering a little bit too far in, does manage to get away. However, you've really got to be careful. Obviously, I Love Joseph on that Lance, not level 6 yet, so hasn't got the combat roll. Just an added bit of mobility there for him. However, Old School getting jumped on yet again. Ringo just doing so much damage, starting all over. He's going to have to retreat, though, as Finn obviously coming through the lane, and I Love Joseph as well on that Lance does get the root. And the Githian wall straight in on T-Tigers. However, nothing going to be picked up just yet.
Yeah, very fortunate for Old School that he was running away because T-Tigers got that Afterburn through but knocked him farther away from the team. If T-Tigers just a little bit further in when that Afterburn comes down, Old School gets knocked into the team, and that's another easy kill. As it stands, you can see that sustain from Adagio and going down, stealing that Treant, keeps the entire team of Hammers topped off.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting there, actually. Starting all over, complete aggressive pathing from him. Just kind of walked towards Cloud9's tower and said, yeah, it's probably not a good idea to be here. And did end up wrapping around, obviously, past the gold miner. And just making sure he landed back in safety in the lane. But if Cloud9 actually knew he was there, they could have easily collapsed on him. So he's going to have to kind of cool his aggression at this current time, especially when Chicken123 isn't around.
And that's something that Starting All Over is kind of known for, is very aggressive pathing. It does catch him out of position sometimes, but a lot of times it ends up paying off. Right now we got a big fight.
We do indeed, and that's going to be a nice pick-up there from Old School. Does manage to pick up Glaive. And T-Tigers just overstaying there just a little bit too long, and he will end up going down. Chicken123, though, he might be a little bit caught out as well. I Love Joseph has found him. Chicken123, not level 6 yet, so hasn't unlocked the ultimate. And you can see there already, starting all over, just counter-aggression down onto Old School. And now Chicken123 just ticking that level 6, that level up, just managed to save him as well. Does pop out the flare as well, making sure he knows where Cloud9 is. T-Tigers is going to go on the aggression here. Starting all over as well. He's going to almost take out Old School. That replay box block just saving, but not for long. I Love Joseph as well, going super low. T-Tigers have to be a little bit more careful. Breaking point is going to get picked up from Starting All Over. Now is the time to shine, but there's going to be a double kill coming through for Finn. Can Starting All Over get the complete ace? I'm not sure he can. He's just going to wander into completely uncontested bush and ends up going down as well. That's the over-aggression we were talking about.
Yeah, well, it was a good attempt there. I think Starting All Over was expecting to have a little bit more damage dealt to Gabe Vizzle's Finn, but Gabe Vizzle has that Atlas Pauldron, so he has a fair bit of armor, and Finn is just so difficult to take down. And as a result, the massive burst from the Sorrow Blade Lance hitting that Impale was enough to just pop Starting All Over. It was like 450 damage or so that he hit onto him with. And a really good team fight for Cloud9. A very hectic team fight, that's for sure. But when all is said and done, when the dust does finally settle, Cloud9 come out with the advantage.
And you can see Forster caught out of nowhere from Gabe Vizzle. See you later. Starting all over, just hits the dust, and now Chicken's going to get aggressed on as well. I didn't even see that one coming out of. I didn't see that one coming out of the Finn there, Tasty. I just did not see that one hitting. and he does end up going down. And my goodness, I mean, we talked about the compositions at the start, and I really liked the fact that Hammer's Velocity has kind of gone with what they've gone with before with this lineup. I mean, the Glaive just fantastic, and Ringo already kind of proving how much they can make it work. Just getting caught out like that is going to cost you, and it has done. The gold miner is going to get picked up for Cloud9. I mean, at this current time, I mean, we've seen starting all over. He's had such a really good early couple of minutes of the game, but coming up to this 10-minute mark, he's died twice in a row now, and just really not had that much of an impact.
Well, he does have the reflex block now, so we'll hopefully be able to avoid getting pulled in like that again. Invisible has 15 seconds still on that cooldown as well, but they're engaging.
Yeah, Polite Company is going to be used, and the knockback as well is going to send Joseph flying, so he's going to be safe to live another day, and they're just really putting all their eggs in, starting all over his basket, just making sure he's well and protected. Item shop is available, so it doesn't look like Hammer's Velocity are just trying to take control of that bottom side of the map, get him all into the wall from I Love Joseph. Another Polite Company comes out from Gabe Vizzle, and they will just disengage from that one, although Old School maybe a little bit out of position there, does get stunned up into the wall when it goes down. That's going to be another kill over to starting all over. They're just going to tower dive this one as well. The reflex ball coming out from him though, he might just start going down. Double kill for him in fact, and I Love Joseph finally picking him off there, but not after a double kill coming through for starting all over. I don't think Joseph is long for this world, but beautiful combat roll straight over that wall. But T-Tigers is going to chase him up, and you can see him getting the kill there. That impale not quite landing, and that'll be 2 kills coming through. No, delayed 3 kills, I believe, actually, coming through for Hammer's Velocity.
Yeah, Old School starting that one off with a little bit of too aggressive positioning. Was not expecting the entirety of Hammer's Velocity to be coming up through the rush from the jungle. At the end of that fight, though, I Love Joseph. If that last impale connects, maybe is able to turn that around and pick up another kill if he gets that impale into a guillotine wall. But just overshot his mark there, and that's one of the most annoying things I feel of playing as a Lance is that forced cord is going to get blocked by starting, but the fact that you can actually go over your target with that impale, and it's exactly what we just saw there.
Yeah, straight over his head. You're not wrong that forced cord completely missed, but it doesn't mean to say they're not going to go for a fight. Cloud9 just constantly on the aggression here, and we know Hammer's Velocity are a very aggressive team, but Cloud9 just really bringing it to them. All that CC we were talking about earlier is really paying off for them. Hammer's Velocity just having to back off under their tower, and with the Crucible picked up as well here for Chicken123, that's going to be something important to keep in mind. Again, just putting all their eggs and starting all over his basket, just making sure he is well protected, because realistically, with the 5 kills, with most of the team's gold, they're going to want him to do the majority of the carrying, at least.
Yeah, and both of these teams are putting a lot of focus on their lane carries. T-Tigers with this Glaive, yes, there is a bit of burst when he goes in, but a lot of the Glaive pick is about the utility of that afterburn. And it's the same thing with I Love Joseph on this Lance. Yes, he does have some good upfront burst if the impale connects, but a lot of it is just all about the utility. And now Cloud9 looking for a fight.
Yet again, looking for the fight. Polite Company yet again being used for the engage tool. There comes the root from the Lance. Chicken123 getting sent super low, but here comes the damage. Here comes starting all over. Old School is in the back line though, so he's going to be majority of the time is going to be safe. And T-Tigers now just in the mix and starting all over decided, you know what, this fight's not for me. Does end up exiting, and that will be 2 kills going over to Cloud9. And Tasty, I think this might be the first tower as well going over to them.
Yeah, very well should be, as starting all over is going to get rooted up and dropped. So Ace, that's going to guarantee the turn, may even end up in a second turret now with these Ace buff minions pushing in.
Ace buff minions doing a lot of work there. That is going to be 2 towers destroyed promptly, one after the other. And starting all over, maybe again, a little bit too aggressive coming out from him. You don't have that Crucible available to you from Chicken123. Your reflex block was off cooldown as well. And that will be the 2 towers being sacrificed there.
And, there are times where you just have to cut your losses and allow the turret to fall. There was no chance for starting all over to defend that turret. And it was pretty obvious that as soon as if he tried to engage, if he tried to stop them from pushing it on that turret, they were just going to turn and jump right onto him. So one of those situations where starting all over, maybe a little bit too confident in his abilities, ends up costing the team that second turret.
Yeah, and that's a really key point there. Too confident in his own abilities, right? We know he's a good player. We know he's aggressive, and he has shown that in the early game. Just stepping up to that tower when you've got someone like a Lance, you've got someone like a Finn that can dive you 10 out of 10 times, and it will kill you, and that's exactly what happened. I mean, Chicken123, let's touch on him really quickly as well. He's really not had a good use of the gauntlet in this game, realistically. I mean, he's used it a couple of times, but just for very little effect. And you can already see Cloud9 going in on him yet again, and Finn's just going to have to dart away from this one, and there goes Chicken. No gauntlet being used yet again from him, and Glaive does end up going down. Old School, I think, is just going to finish off Chicken here, ends up getting the last couple of hits on him, if he can chase him up, and on the bottom side of the map here as well. Realistically, starting all over, is he going to survive against the heavy CC coming out from a Finn and a Lance? No, he is not. That's going to be another complete ace coming through for Cloud9. I mean, Tasty, would you say it's their experience shining through?
I don't know if it's so much the experience showing through as it is the Hammers Velocity getting caught off guard a little bit. Coming into this series, Cloud9 is a team that thus far throughout this pro has been known for slower-paced games. They've been known to be very methodical, very slow, not really looking for fights. The exact quote we had from another pro was, if given the chance, Cloud9 is more than happy to not fight until 15 minutes. But they have absolutely come out aggressive, come out of the gate swinging, and have brought the fight to Hammers Velocity, who are the team that has been known for being very aggressive. And it just looks to me like Hammers Velocity were not ready for this aggressive side of Cloud9. That last fight, it was so quick that Chicken123, you mentioned, didn't get to use the gauntlet. He didn't use anything. He didn't use the Crucible or the Fountain of Renewal in that skirmish, and as a result, it is a nice lead for Cloud9, Kraken pushing in.
Kraken is going to push in, and you can see starting all over, doing his best to try and chunk it down, but realistically, that Kraken's got a lot of HP. Nice Githian wall in, and there's the afterburn in from T-Tigers, but that afterburn might have just cost him his life, and finally a beautiful gauntlet coming down from Chicken123, but starting all over, he's completely caught out, Tasty. He ends up going down, tower fall, but the turret falls as well. That Kraken doing so much work, and I think this is going to be game over. I think Cloud9 at the moment, just too far ahead of Hammers Velocity. You can try and see they're doing something here, just trying all their might. Finn is going to try and jump on Old School. It's not going to happen. They're going to take him out. The ace is going to come through. Cloud9 are going to take this first game of this best of 5.
Yeah, that first of judgment held for so long by Old School, finally unleashed there when there was no reflex blocks left. So it gets the stun onto both T-Tigers and Chicken123. They both end up falling, and that leaves the Crystal vulnerable, and Cloud9 able to secure game number 1, bringing a little bit of a new, different look for Cloud9 than what we've seen